What's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bull Central here. Hope you're all doing well. So guys, before I get into today's video, just a quick shout out and a thank you to everyone for getting the channel to 1K subscribers. I'm honestly amazed and humbled at the amount of support the channel has received thus far in just the first few weeks after launching. I started this channel because I just really love talking about Bulls basketball and sharing content. Would have never expected the channel to grow in this way, so really thank you guys for sharing in my passion about the Bulls, and looking forward to making more content for you guys, especially as we head into the season. So as you know, I have closed the gift card giveaway now that we have reached 1K subs. So for the first 1,000, those will be included in the drawing for a $50 gift card to the NBAstore.com. I will be doing the drawing tomorrow, and I will announce the winner in a video. I will then give the winner 24 hours for a chance to claim the award once I reach out to them. If they do not claim it within 24 hours, I will then redo the drawing until we have someone claim the prize. Now, for those who have subscribed after 1K, don't worry, I plan on having more giveaways for various milestones on the channel, so stay tuned for those. But now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the video. And today, I just wanted to share a few updates that have been going on within the Bulls training camp and team practices. As I'm sure you know, the Bulls' first preseason game is this Friday, so obviously the team has been ramping up very quickly since training camp, literally started last week. This is obviously an unprecedented offseason, how quickly it has moved from the end of the finals, the draft, and then free agency, and now training camp. So I am curious to see how teams adjust to this in general, not just the Bulls, but the league as a whole. I'm sure there's going to be a bit of a rusty period where the players are still going to be getting back into NBA ready form, given training camp and preseason normally are much longer. But honestly, what I've been most impressed by, or at least what's being said and reported out of training camp for the Bulls, is how the team is feeling and what they're saying about the rookie Patrick Williams. Rob Schaefer of the NBC Chicago wrote an article and reported on some of the quotes from players and coaching staff when asked, how things are progressing with Patrick Williams. And here's some of the quotes, just to name a few from some players. They said that he is an unbelievable talent. Another one is just, he gets it, and the kid can play. The players are really amazed how quickly he has been adapting and progressing in really such a short period of time after being drafted. Normally players, once they're drafted, they're typically drafted in June. They go through summer league, a much longer training camp process, longer preseason. So I'm sure this is a challenge for all rookies, really. Keep in mind, most of them haven't played competitive basketball since March. When March Madness was canceled due to the pandemic. So I'm really excited and happy to hear that the players have had nothing but great things to say about this kid. Granted, I think it's unlikely they would say negative things about him if they actually felt he wasn't doing a good job or was struggling, but I don't think it would be this level of praise coming from the players and coaching staff if they weren't in fact seeing the true potential in this guy. It's great to hear because I was definitely one of those skeptical Bulls fans on that draft pick. I even made a video about it shortly after he was drafted. It was one of my first videos on the channel. I do feel a lot differently now about the pick, and I'm quite happy with it. However, I do still want to see him play in actual NBA games before I get a little too excited about his overall potential. But I like what I'm hearing so far. I like what I'm seeing based on, videos of him in training camp and in practices. So I'm really looking forward to it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to note from training camp that seems to be reported pretty consistently is around Zach Lavine and his overall hunger to make a huge jump this season. He's really dialed in on winning. I know he wants to have a breakout season, which really you could say, last year really Zach broke out. He had a breakout season with the numbers that he put up. But of course the Bulls didn't do so well as a team. So his commitment this season is to focus on making the Bulls a winning team. Not only improving himself, but the players on the roster as well. And I do like this from Lavine. It seems kind of weird to say because he's only 25, but Lavine is more of a veteran compared to the rest of the guys on this roster. And this is his year to really step out and being that team leader, being that franchise player Bulls fans want to see from him. I've mentioned it before, and I do have my doubts on whether Zach is that type of player, whether he can take on that type of role. And this is the season for him to really show that. Now, I shared in some of my prior videos that I actually think it might make more sense for Lavine to be traded if you can get enough for him in return. And that's because I'm not entirely sure Lavine fits the timeline for this roster. Lavine is at that stage in his career where he's in the peak of his prime, and he's looking to win now. On top of that, his trade value is really high. There are a lot of contending teams that could use a player like Lavine who, he can provide consistent scoring, shooting, athleticism. And I know that I got a lot of, negative comments from folks about, I would be out of my mind to be wanting to trade Lavine. But that's just how I view it at this point in time. Now, I don't think the Bulls should trade him because clearly, at least for right now, because clearly he's showing he wants to be that guy. He's working incredibly hard in training camp. He's obviously worked incredibly hard in the offseason. He wants to be the franchise player. He wants to be that #1 option. So my guess is the Bulls are they're gonna hang on to him. They want to see how he fits with this roster and what his role will be. And then determined if, he's a good fit based on what, Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley are, what they're trying to do as far as building for the future. Then I suspect if he's not fitting, they might try to move him, this year prior to the trade deadline or next offseason. But at this point, it really wouldn't make sense to try to move him before the season begins because they need to see what he could potentially do with this roster now that he's under new coaching staff. There wouldn't be a lot of use, trading him if, he really is going to fit well and he is going to be able to show up as that franchise player. Either way, I would love for Lavine to take an even bigger step in being a leader for this team, becoming an all-star, entering that elite status of NBA players. I want to be proven wrong about Lavine. I want to be proven wrong that, he doesn't just put up them empty stats. And honestly, I think we'll have a good idea within the first month of the season if Lavine has made that transition as a player. Other than that, guys, there haven't been too many other noteworthy updates from training camp. That's why, I haven't been uploading as many update videos per se. The players continue to be grinding, they're working hard, and they're excited for the start of the season. Let me know in the comments, though, what is the one thing that you guys are most excited about for this season? It could be a particular player, a particular game, seeing Billy Donovan and what he can do with this team. And as always, guys, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan, especially if you like the content as I upload daily videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one.